My last UMO clip was very well received and led to _ drizzle223 to request a lesson on Ruban's The Internet of Love. Great request, Driz. So here's the breakdown. Actually, could you just like and subscribe real quick and hit that bell so you don't miss these? Thanks. The song is in 6/8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it just has two sections, that wicked intro and then the chordal part that Ruban sings the song over. Now, I don't know how Ruban tuned his guitar for this one. I'm imagining there's at least a drop D going on, but we can do it in standard tuning easy enough, which is what we're going to do today. I'll just note that if you want to play along with the original, you'll have to detune every string half a step. The whole song is down a half step. But I'm not going to make you do that here today. I've got your back, bro. So the two chords for that cool intro, it starts with what looks like a standard F bar chord, but joy, we don't have to hold down all the strings, only the top one. So I've got 1, 3, 3, 2, open, open. So I'm calling that an F major 7, sharp 11. And then we go to a G add 9, 2 fingers, even more simple. I've got 3, nothing on the A string, that's muted, open D, a 2 on the G string, and the same 2 open strings. We're hitting the bass notes, the lower notes on beat 1, and then snapping the treble strings, the higher sounding strings, on beat 4 where the snare would be. So it's like bass drum, snare, and clipping that off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then up to the G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that rhythm becomes part of the verse playing as well when we get to that part. Now comes that slinky little run. It's actually pretty easy. It's got an insane amount of compression on it. In fact, it sounds to me like Ruban may have recorded this as an idea on an acoustic into an iPhone and then used that recording. It's got that ridiculous iPhone compression sound about it. Actually saying that out loud, I bet that's what happened, because you can even hear movements on the body of the guitar, like when you're hunched over an acoustic guitar trying to record an idea quietly into a phone, and you can hear all your hand noise and the guitar movement and everything else. So anyway, I'm just playing it on my lovely Maton Mastersound here, straight into Logic, and I've just dialed up the compression as high as I can, and I've dialed up the input gain on the amp model that I'm using to also sound like, it's just on the edge of breaking up there. So let's play that little lick. So after we strum the chord, we go to the first fret, the F note on the E string. Then we're going to play that G note on the 3rd fret, but keeping our finger on that 1st fret because we're about to pull off. So They're like 30-second note triplets. I mean, it's a really slow tempo, this song. It's like 62 BPM, I think. So really, at 120, they'd be 16th note triplets. So that's our first move. Then we go to this C note, first fret on the B string, pick the open E string, open B string to that A note, which is second fret on the G string. So then we do that again. Then we play that F note, third fret on the D string. And then to finish the first lick off, we slide with our second finger up to the fourth fret, back to the second, and pull off to the open G string. So all together at a really slow speed. I'm going to chuck the metronome on. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay. Then the second run. So for this second phrase, the G phrase, we're making the exact same left-hand movements, but moved up 2 frets. We start first finger, and now we're on the third fret. Third finger on the fifth fret, leaving our first finger in place so we can do the quick little pull-offs. Then first finger onto the next string on the third fret. And then open B, second finger on the fourth fret of the G string, twice. And then the fifth fret with our third finger on the next string. So see, it's exactly the same. This time, our little triplet slidey lick at the end is a little bit different. It spells out a G chord, a G triad. So we slide up to the seventh, back to the fourth, pull off. So that's a little bit trickier than the first one. It's a clever idea though. So then it goes back and does the first one again, and then it goes back and does the second one. And there's a slight change in it. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but look, here it is. It's only one note. So this time, Ruban takes his second finger off that fourth fret after he's played it the first time. So instead of going open, 4, he goes open, 4, open, open, and then the fifth fret on the D string. And the ending is just from the fourth fret on the G string to the sixth, and then he slides back to get in position for the B minor chord. So let's have a quick look at the chords in this song. For the start of the verse, we're just doing one strum per bar, so per count of 6. Now the B minor, similar to what I was saying with this F chord, we're not using the full bar, we're only holding the root note of the chord, leaving our E string open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, move that up 3 frets to the 5th fret to make a D minor, also with the E string open, which is a D minor 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I think the best choice for the A minor 7 is my favorite, which is 5 on the top string, nothing on the A string, 5, 5, 5, 5. There's a lot of this A note going on in this song, so we're going to hold that where we can. And then we go to our G major 9. Now there's a lot of notes going on in this chord, but I've settled on this. I think this is manageable and hits the mark with the notes that we're hearing. So what I'm doing there is a 3 with my thumb on the top string, 5, 4, open G, 3, 5. So you can think of it like a C chord, you know, the old first position C chord, moved up 2 frets, adding our little finger, and adding our thumb. Sounds great. That one goes for 2 bars. Then we've got a B minor 7, an A minor 7, and a G. But in keeping with the sound of this song, I found a way to keep this A note on top. So our B minor 7, we're playing like this. So that's 7, A string muted, 7, 7, open, 5. The same A minor 7 as before, and the same G major 9 as before. So here how we've got the descending bass, but the top note stays the same. Sweet. So it does it a couple of times, then we go into the final section of the verse, which only changes slightly in that it has a D in there, which I'm using this voicing, because the chords all sound so lovely and rich. There's keys in there, there's a second guitar in there. So that's nothing on the E string, 5, 4, 2, 3, 2. But any D chord will work. Then we've got the descending pattern again, but this time it's an A major, which I love. It's so interesting. It's an interesting little quirk in the song. So the B minor, 7, same voicing, A, standard A bar chord, and our G major 9. And then the second time when that line repeats, at the end, we've got a bit of a stretch. We've got to drop our thumb back to the 2nd fret, if you can, because it takes us to the F. Back to the start. When we're playing through the verse, when you get to sort of the halfway point where we land on that G major 9 chord for a couple of bars, Ruban starts doing that pattern again. So at the start of the verse, we've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then halfway through, it starts going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's your rhythm for playing this song. Now, there are 3 other little things going on that you might be hearing also. The clever bass line is often playing notes other than the root notes of the chords. All throughout, Ruban is playing a 9th. Let's say we're on a G chord. He's doing patterns like that. So I'm going G, D, which are both in a G chord, but then going up to an A, which is the 9th in G. He does that on almost every chord at some point throughout the verse of the song. There's a couple of other points where the bass is really interesting. Over the G major 9 chord, I think it's where he says, "You wake up with someone else," and the bass plays that melody with the vocal. So the guitar is hitting a G chord, and the bass is like, "With someone else," before resolving to the G bass note for the second bar of G. So that's one example. Another example is the G major 9 that precedes the D chord in that last section. It's over an F sharp note, but look, it's a pretty ambiguous chord. You could play a B minor there, B minor over an F sharp bass note to a D. You could even just play a D over an F sharp bass note to a normal D. But I really love the richness that the G major 9 chord over the F sharp bass gives us. It's got so many notes in there. Anyway, it's up to you. You play what you like in there. The second thing that you might be hearing is when we get back to this part, there's also a guitar that's just playing clipped chords on every 8th note. Something like that. So yeah, that's filling it out as well while we're playing. Okay, and the third thing is that delicious little organ line that sits over the top after the... It's like a 4, 5, 6, 1. I'm pretty sure that's what the notes are. It's such a groovy little organ sound, groovy little line. But I'm hearing that weird G sharp note in there, which it's really, it's more of a feeling. I'll listen to it over and over. I don't know why I think it's there, because I can't guarantee it, but it sounds right to me. So anyway, leave it out if you want. It's so quiet. I've got it in brackets on the tabs there. But that is a fantastic little line that occurs in there as well. So, yeah. All right, get to work. Don't forget to warm up. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know how you go. And I'll see you soon with another Prince request.